Hi guys, it's Tara and welcome back to Crafting with Curly Cues. Today I have a project for Gerda Steiner Designs featuring the super adorable brand new stamp set Unicorns. So these guys are pretty irresistible and I have a feeling you're going to fall in love with them just like I did. So to start, I am doing some colored glitter pasting using my Bow Bunny Sugar glitter paste, and then I am taking some distress inks and adding that ink to the sugar glitter paste. So the sugar glitter paste is basically clear with a whole bunch of iridescent sparkles in it. So a while back, I randomly decided to see what would happen if I mixed this clear, super duper amazingly sparkly glitter paste with some distress inks and see if I could color it. And it actually worked amazing. So I've been dying to try this again, and when I saw these unicorns, I thought that this would be just the perfect project to get out some colored glitter paste. So I started with Twisted Citron and Mowed Lawn, and I'm doing like an ombre effect over the top of this stencil. So this stencil is from My Favorite Things, and it is called the Stargazer, and I apologize guys, I can't find it anywhere. So I have linked below and over at my blog for you to a different star stencil. But unfortunately it's not the same one. So I'm so sorry. I didn't realize before I used it that apparently it's like super hard to get your hands on. So, anyway, the next color combo I'm doing is Picked Raspberry and Mustard Seed. So I wanted to do like an ombre pink, but I don't know, sponge sugar is super, super light. So I decided to go crazy and do the pink into the yellow and kind of create like an orange in the middle. And so that's what I did with this one. So I am just applying that over my stencil with my palette knife. Now, hindsight's 2020, right? And if I were to make this project again, a couple things I would do differently. One would be I would probably use a little bit of Post-it tape to mask off the stars that I didn't want any glitter paste in and keep a consistent kind of pattern. I didn't want it to be perfect, but I didn't like the little tiny pieces of glitter paste that got on the front of the card because they went in a star and I didn't have enough left to do the whole star. So that's one thing I would do. And I would do a little bit better job of cleaning off my stencil in between colors just because I did get a little bit of contamination in between, but it wasn't anything crazy. It didn't like ruin my cards, but that's just what I would do differently if I were to make these cards again. So I applied that amazingly sparkly, phenomenal glitter right onto the front of my A2 size card bases. And now I'm going to take this super stinking cute unicorns stamp set. So I have been secretly hoarding all of the unicorn stamp sets that have been coming out lately and waiting to try to color, like I want to do like a video series with unicorns, but I could not wait on this one because OMG, like so cute. So I stamped 3 of these guys in some Copic friendly ink. I used Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink, and it works really well with Copics. And so now I'm going to do a little bit of Copic coloring, and I'm only going to color one of these guys. I do all 3 of them the same, except that I kind of shift the rainbow of his mane down a little bit because I want each unicorn to have a different color hooves and horn to coordinate with the card bases that I made. So that's the only thing that's different, but I'm only going to show you one so I don't totally bore you to death. So I did a little bit of experimenting with this particular card. So I am starting by coloring in the unicorn, which is pretty basic. I'm using my warm grays. I want him to be white, but of course you want to put some shadow to give him some dimension. So I am starting out with W5 and I'm just going to work my way like all the way down to W0. So I have almost all of them in between there. Missing a couple, but I do have quite a few. So it was a really good, nice, smooth transition. And I'm just doing super light shadowing. Nothing crazy on the body of the unicorn. And then when I get done with the shadowing, I'm going to go in with my colorless blender and just blend all that stuff out. I will also add a little bit of pink with my R22, which is my favorite cheek color, to his little cheeks and the inside of his ears, and then use my W0, which is super, super light, and my colorless blender to kind of blend that in so it doesn't look so harsh. So that's how I did the body of all 3 unicorns. But the real fun part here is the mane. So I couldn't decide what to do. So I have my 3 different card bases, and one is green and one is blue and one is pink and yellow. And I was like, well, should I do like the manes and the coordinating colors, or is that going to be boring? Like, what should I do? So I opted to just throw in all the colors because, hey, if you can't decide, just do it all, right? Like, that's something I learned from my kid. It's like, oh, I don't know what dessert I want. I should probably try all of them. So that was what I went with here for the mane. So I decided to do a rainbow. So this was something totally new for me because I am a little bit gun shy when it comes to my Copic markers. I want everything to look awesome. So I stick to the same color families, things that I know are going to blend out so that I don't have to deal with any faux pas. So this whole, like, sorry, my arm is like right in the camera there, but this whole experimenting with how can I blend colors that are in completely different color families was really fun for me. And I didn't do anything fancy. Like, I don't own a color wheel. I have no idea what colors are complementary and which ones are supposed to go together and which ones you're supposed to stay like totally on the opposite sides of each other. I don't know any of that. So I am totally just winging it here. So I am starting with some pinks. So I basically grabbed two of each color family that I wanted to use. So I knew I wanted pink, blue, green, and yellow. So that's what I busted out. So I am starting with some light pink and I'm kind of blending it up into some dark pink. And I start coloring his tail and then I totally space it and I go back at the end and finish the tail. So disregard the tail for now. So obviously the pinks blend together pretty good. That's not a problem. So then I was moving into yellow and I was kind of thinking a little bit in my brain, like, okay, I know that if I put the pink and the yellow together, I'm going to get like an orange, and that's not like, that's a real color. So that's okay. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, is that mud? No. Okay, I can do it. Awesome. So I did that, and I'm using some tip-to-tip technique, and I'm taking whichever shade happens to be lighter. In this case, it was the yellow, and I touch the tip of the yellow to the tip of the pink, and then I go over that spot where the two blend into one another. And that kind of creates this like middle tone color that allows them to kind of blend nice and smooth. So I'm doing a similar thing. The green and the yellow, I was really shocked. Like, they blended really well right into each other. I didn't have to work like at all. So I don't know why that is. Again, I have no idea. I'm just picking colors at random here. So I think that's just kind of how you have to do it. If you want to blend some colors that don't necessarily look like they should go together, just take out a piece of scrap paper and start doodling with them and see what you can do. Like, see if you can make it work. So to go from the green to the blue, I kind of picked one of these blue-green teal shades to kind of be the medium shade here. So I'm taking the green and I'm just going to touch it to the tip of that teal color and just put just ever so slightly right over the top of where those fuse together. And those blended really well too. So then I have a bright blue to finish off the top because I don't want it to really look teal. I want it to definitely be blue, but I wanted to make sure it would blend into that green. So you can see along the way that some of the colors even kind of go away. Like the teal, you can't really see anymore. It really just turned into the transition zone, which is totally fine because that's what you want, right? Like, you want everything to transition smoothly into each other. So I thought that this worked really well, and I just happened to, on my first try, pick colors that worked. But if you didn't, you could just keep trading it out, like, okay, I need a lighter green or something like that, and just see what you can get. It was really fun to experiment when I did the other two unicorns because I did them in a different color order. So like one of them I went from the pink to the blue, which created a purple, which I don't have anywhere else on any of these cards. So I was like, oh, I didn't really want purple, but I mean, you just roll with it and it's just super fun and everything. You really can't make these unicorns not cute. Like, I mean, are you kidding me? Look at him. Like, he's so cute. His ears are just killing me. Like, I can't even handle it. They're so, and when I put him on the card, I don't really glue the ears down because I want them to be like big floppy unicorn ears. But anyway, that's for later. So now that guy is all colored up and I can start assembling my cards. So as you can see, I colored the other ones and then I fussy cut them out. I'm going to line the edge with my Black Soot Distress marker, and this is just going to make them look like they're cut out perfectly. So this is a trick that I really like to do. These guys were a little tedious to cut out because they do have those little flippy manes, but I think it was totally worth it. They look so cute. So I decided to experiment a little bit. I have this Xyron sticker maker, and I've seen people use these, and I've always been like, that is so cool. And so I found one at a garage sale one day. You can see little hands. Kennedy's here helping me. She's like, can I turn the knob? I'm like, totally. And then I'm like, whoa, hold on. I'm not ready yet. But anyway, so I got this at a garage sale. And it was pretty old, and it had the cartridge that it came with from the garage sale that I think is pretty old. And so I'm just going to tell you guys, this was not an overly pleasant experience for me using this Xyron. But I've seen other people use it, and it's like no big deal at all. So I'm going to give it another shot, and I'm thinking maybe I need to buy a new cartridge because who knows how long the previous owners had this cartridge just sitting in there, like melting and stuff. But I don't know. I mean, I love the concept. So once it came out the back end, I'm using my Teflon foam folder just to go over and kind of really rub everything down to make sure that the adhesive is really on the back. And then the piece that I forgot to do was to make sure that all the adhesive around my die cuts is not there anymore. and everything got really sticky and it was crazy. So like I said, I'm going to try it again. I'm not going to judge yet, but this particular Xyron experience was not awesome. So these frames are these scalloped frames from Pretty Pink Posh. They are super cute. There's 2 different sizes that come in the set. So this is the smaller one. And I have cut out 3 different colors of cardstock from my scrap pile. I don't know what colors these are. They were literally just leftovers. So that's what I went with. And then that die cut is, the word die is Simon Says stamp Painted Hello. Yes, Painted Hello. And I cut it out of some glittery black cardstock. So I just thought that would go with the total insane glitter theme of my card. However, again, hindsight's 2020, and as much as I love all the glitter and it looks absolutely beautiful, I probably would have done just plain black if I were to make these cards again, because you just kind of need something for your eyeball to relax a little bit from all the glitter explosion that's happening here. So anyway, Kennedy convinced me not to put the green frame on the green stars. She said, no, that's too much green. So we're putting the unicorn with the green hooves with the green stars, but it's going to get a blue frame. And she pointed out later that this is in fact Seattle Seahawks colors. So my hubby would be very proud because he is a Seahawks fan, since we are Pacific Northwesters here. So anyway, so I put the frame on, I just put it kind of cattywampus, and then I pop the unicorn up with some foam tape, and then I'm just going to add that die cut. On this one, I kind of make it a little bit arched, but I do put it straight on the other 2. So I assemble all 3 cards in the exact same way, and then I decided to go ahead and round some of the corners, and Kennedy decided that she really liked that one corner not rounded. She thought it was super cool. So I left one corner not rounded, so that's a little different. She said we're going to start a trend. She was like, you watch. It's going to be the new cool thing. And I was like, all right, I'm going to watch. We'll see what happens. So once I got all those corners rounded, I went ahead and grabbed my Spectrum Noir clear sparkle overlay pen. This pen is my new favorite. Like, I'm obsessed with my Wink of Stella, but I love that this is a more clear glitter, and so you don't get the gold tone, which is really nice sometimes. Like, sometimes that gold tone is exactly what you want, but sometimes just this really clear sparkly glitter is what you need. So I feel like you can't have a unicorn with a rainbow mane unless that rainbow mane is sparkling, dazzlingly bright in the sun. So I had to add some sparkle. And so I went over all 3 unicorns with that. And then I'm going to come in with my black Jelly Roll Glaze pen. And I am going to put a little bit of that right on his pupils of the eyes there, so that those are nice and shiny and a little bit popped up once that dries. This glaze pen is super, super cool. It adds just a tiny bit of dimension, and it's really shiny, so it's awesome. And then I use my white pen to go ahead and add some little polka dots to the cheeks. I love to do this to my critters. I think it just makes them that extra bit of whimsical. And for any of you who've watched my videos before, you know that whimsical and whimsy is my favorite word. It's like my favorite way to describe things. So anything that I can add that allows me to call something whimsical, I am going to do that. So for my final touch, I decided to put some glossy accents on the hooves and the horn of each unicorn, just to make them stand out a little bit more. This glossy accents looks beautiful over the top of that Spectrum Noir sparkle pen, and it just totally is dazzling. So in real life, like, it's hard to capture on camera, but in real life, these cards are like so sparkly, guys. It is seriously like, it's unicorn. Like, if you think of unicorns, you think like glitter and rainbows, and that's what we got going on here. So it worked out beautifully. So that is going to complete my projects for today. So I managed to get 3 really similar cards with some really fun color palettes. That's the great thing about blending your Distress inks with the glitter paste, is you can do whatever color palette you want. And then of course, once you figure out how to blend those Copic rainbows, you can totally go to town with that. So there you can see the intense sparkle that you get up close on these little unicorns. I think they're so super fun. This set is amazing. Go get it, like, right now, because you got to have it. It's such cute unicorns. So thank you guys so much for watching. All the supplies are going to be listed below and over at my blog. If you like this video, please hit subscribe and leave me a comment. I love to hear from you guys. Don't forget to check out the description box below for more crafty inspiration, and to join me on Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram. Thanks, guys. Bye.